Hey guys, Dragonite13 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Devil May Cry 4. Mission 15, Fortuna Castle. Exterminate the defenders of the icy plane. So, this is actually post-commentary. See, funny thing happened. I recorded this entire session, roughly an hour and a half of gameplay. And then I realized at some point my capture software switched to my commentary input from my usual microphone that I have sitting literally right in front of me to the microphone that was sitting on the floor. It was my headset that I'd set aside. Oh, fun times. So I lost all that commentary. Well, I didn't lose it, technically. It's just you could barely hear it, even without game audio over it. So, here we are now. Anyways, I hate this mission. So to start us off, we're gonna do this Combat Adjudicator. It's a double S rank. It's honestly not that hard to get, but I mess up a couple times here. But yeah, this mission, I am not a fan of it, and there is one reason. Well, two reasons. It's more like one reason we'll be seeing twice, and anybody who's played this game will probably... Yep, there's my mistake. Dive kicked in the wrong direction. And anybody who's played this game would probably already guess what that reason is. But there we go, double S. Nothing too bad. Get a blue orb fragment for it, the usual. And now we get to meet a new enemy type. AKA the reason I hate this fucking mission. So as we go across the courtyard here, Dante's gonna get interrupted. By this fucker. This son of a bitch. This guy is a blitz, and he is a pain in the ass. So here's the gimmick with him. He will dart around the room at absolute lightning speeds. And he only really stops for like a second at a time, if that. But his whole body is electrified, so if you try and melee him, you're going to take damage. So the idea is to get hit in the face like that. The idea is that you want to use your guns to sort of whittle away his lightning armor. But that's an easier said than done thing, because he rarely holds still. But there we go. Now his lightning armor's gone, now you're free to attack him. I was hoping he'd hold still for a real impact, but he did not, which sucks. Which means I'm a little behind on damage. More behind than I'd like to be. And yep, he gets his lightning back, and now he's red. When he's red, that means he is going to kill you. Because he will impale you on his horn and blow up. Now, you can pop Devil Trigger to get out of that, but I was a little too low on Devil Trigger runes. So by the time I actually got enough to pop Devil Trigger, he already exploded, so. That sucks, and that's why I hate dealing with blitzes. Now, thankfully, we don't really have to deal with that many blitzes in this game. On this difficulty. On the higher difficulties, you will see more, and they are a pain in the ass. But thankfully, on this difficulty, we will only see one more blitz. Unless there's another one I'm forgetting about in a later mission. But anyways. So the idea with Dante's revisit to the castle is that there's ice covering a bunch of entranceways, so you kind of have to go through the rooms in a different order than what Nero did. Which is why I don't think the Dante missions are that bad. A lot of people say, well, you're just going through the same missions as Nero, just backwards, and that's partially true. But the areas you're going through have been remixed, more or less. and you're going through them in very different ways. So that's why I don't mind it as much as a lot of people might. Anyways, come out here. Don't forget to jump up onto this pillar to grab some red orbs. I couldn't get that as Nero because you need air hike, and I didn't feel like trading out orbs to get it because I was lazy. So now let's come into this room for a quick fight with some Bianco Angelos. And I believe an Alto Angelo shows up as well. Yep, sure enough, there he is. Alright, so, because there's an Alto Angelo in the room, I decided to try and do the reflect, and there it is. I have never seen that reflect not get a triple S. It is always the best thing you can do when there's an Alto Angelo in the room. Now, I don't believe another Alto will actually spawn in this room, so it should just be Biancos now. Anyways, nice little trick you can do with Bianco Angelos is hit them until they're ready to smack you with their shield, then quickly switch to Royal Guard and do an air block. It's a very easy timing to get. Like that. It's a very easy time to get, and meanwhile you'll be doing damage to their shield, so win-win. Now, while I get these orbs, do note that the room with the Anima Mercury that Nero got before is sealed off from Dante. So we're going to have to go a different route now. But thankfully a new room is opened for Dante. Well, I don't know if it's opened or like the rubble's just fallen away. Yeah, the rubble's just fallen away. Alright. And down this hole is actually a reason too why I hate this mission. At least doing it for all blue orbs. It's because there's a secret mission down here that is a super pain in the ass. This one is tough. Alright. Unbreakable. Eliminate all enemies without taking damage and without getting captured by a vault. And you see those flailing tentacles in the picture there? Yeah, there's chimeras. They're not fun to deal with. And they're the reason this mission is goddamn difficult. So, I'm going to spoil this for you right now. I failed this attempt. Actually, I failed the first 2 attempts at this. So, my basic strategy for this first attempt was stay the fuck back and shotgun them. Rather simple strategy, really. And just once in a while, from landing good buckshots, you'll build up some Devil Trigger gauge, and then when I have enough to go into Devil Trigger, I'll just go into it real quick, do some Devil Triggered stingers, try and get some good damage in on the group. But mostly I am being extremely careful when I do this secret mission. Because one stray tentacle and it's over. So that's why you'll see me constantly moving away from them to try and keep them off screen as much as possible. So I can continue to just pelt them with bullets. But, sadly, one of them got me. And I failed. But, you know, that's bound to happen. That is a tough secret mission. So why don't we do it again? Nope, same result. At this point in the live commentary, there was a little bit of swearing. But anyways, I do it a third time, and this time it is successful, but it takes a while. Because I was being very cautious this time around. I believe this attempt at the secret mission took about 3 minutes, all in all. It was not very exciting to watch. It's not very exciting to play either. So, yeah, just continue to dodge, continue to shoot my shotgun. When I get Devil Trigger, just do a couple stingers, back to the routine. But after you kill the first wave of enemies, another wave of 3 Chimera Blades will come out. So you can't even relax with this bit. It's so annoying. But eventually I realized, oh, this is the last blade. I can afford to be a little more aggressive. And then a couple more shotgun blasts to finish it off. Fuck that secret mission. Ugh, it's such a pain in the ass. Now, if you don't completely suck like me, you probably can just straight up fight them like normal, but I do not trust myself to do that. But there we go. It's done. It's out of the way. We're through. Most of the reasons that this mission sucks is almost over. Alright, so again, magical ice is blocking our way. So if we ever want to get out of this castle, we need to get rid of the source, which... what demons seem to magically be in charge of ice? I do remember one, but we killed it, didn't we? As Nero? Interesting. Anyways. Remember when we pushed a, what are they called? Gyro blades down this hallway's Nero? Good times. Alright, so a quick fight in the dining room here. Thankfully, no chimeras, no blades, no blitzes. It's just scarecrows and a couple mega scarecrows. Nothing bad. Anyways, always remember when a mega scarecrow dies, its scythe is going to drop down. So make sure you're clearing out of the way. And since I only had one enemy on the screen, I knew it was safe to do a Dance Macabre. Which is good for quite a few style points. And then there's the rare S-rank taunt. And for a split second, I almost felt brave enough to try and do some royal guarding, but I was like, you know what, no. Good drive. I hit basically nothing with that. Alright. A quick real impact to finish off. Oh, wait, no. It's a little stronger than I thought he was. Throwing a gunslinger move, because why not at that point, you know? There. No, not quite. Sliver of health left. Okay, there we go. But yep, SS rank in that fight, not too shabby. For playing as Dante, yeah, that's not bad. Anyways, be sure to shotgun these lovely little dinner plates. I'm sure it was very fancy china, now it's very fancy dead. Then come in here. Let's get me on the other side of that magical ice. And smash a couple more things for red orbs, because you need those orbs, man. But yeah, that would lead to the boss arena from Mission 4, but yep, sealed off by ice, what a shock. I guess we'll have to find a way around. And of course the way around involves going through that door, but first make sure to break this mirror for some orbs. Alright, this fight is interesting. So this is going to be a fight against a whole bunch of Frosts. I think it's like 4 of them, if I'm remembering right. I mean, it's nothing too bad. I mean, it's not more fucking blitzes, but Frost can be kind of annoying in their own right. Because Frost really seem to have a selective, they seem to be very picky about when they'll actually stagger to a hit. It's very annoying to deal with. Because, like, Million Stab seems to mostly work on them, but then, like, the final hit doesn't? I don't know. But yeah, nothing too bad. I always remember this floor that Nero collapsed back in Mission 5, I believe it was. Yeah, we get to go down there, but first make sure to stop off here. Get this red old fountain. Yeah, you can go for these, all these red orbs. I don't particularly care. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to get 100% red orbs in the mission completion screen, but you know what, that's fine. Anyways, quickly activate this light switch that Nero did not have access to before. And you get this super powerful wing talisman spot. That'll allow you to blast all the way up. All the way up to over here, even. Then come into here for another fight. Alright, so. At first this fight doesn't seem that bad. It's just a couple scarecrows, right? Nothing big. I can deal with those. These are just free style points, you might be thinking. But wait for it. Wait for it. It's coming. There he is. Yep, there's a blitz in this tiny ass room. And this is a super pain in the ass to deal with. So my first priority right now is to get rid of the scarecrow so I can focus on just dealing with the blitz. And remember how I said blitzes, you had to shoot off their armor? Well, there's another way to do it. See, even though you get electric shocked, your melee attacks still are actually hurting his lightning armor. So what you want to do is dive kick with the Gilgamesh, and then the instant you make impact, you can actually cancel that with a Royal Guard. And then that Royal Guard timing is actually perfect timing for a actual like Royal block. So it's a very easy way of getting rid of their armor. And there we go, I finally got a real impact off on the fucker. Alright, so now he's entering his red phase again. Just hit it a little bit, and then you'll be fine. As long as he doesn't ram you with his sword, just a shot or two with the shotgun will do the trick. But yeah, thankfully, on this difficulty, we're done. We don't have to deal with the blitzes anymore. Again, unless there's one hidden somewhere in like mission 18 that I'm just forgetting about, we're done. Alright, so back out into this courtyard. Now, as Dante, you can go up top where Nero had to use like caliber to like get on top of some like pillars up top there, but I didn't feel like doing that. That's too much of a pain in the butt for me to worry about. Because I think you can do it if you like Devil Trigger to get double Sky Stars, which is the aerial trickster dash. If you do that, I think you can get up there right now, but one, there's an easier way to do it we'll have access to starting the next mission. Two, I just didn't feel like it. I just wanted this mission done with. But I did at the very least make sure to get all these orbs in the graveyard. It's a bit of a process, but the shotgun fireworks makes it a little quicker. A little quicker, not much. Anyways, also don't forget, if you come up onto this thing, there's some red orbs. And then go up onto this other thing, and there's more red orbs. Alright, so now it's going to be time for a boss fight. And before I go into this boss fight, I decided I wanted to get enemy step, but I needed to sacrifice some orbs in order to do it. So I got rid of a couple of those, got rid of speed. Oh, nope, still a little short. Oh wait, no. Sorry, I was looking at the numbers wrong. I thought this was the time where I had to make some tough decisions about what skills to get rid of. But enemy step lets us do jump canceling, which is when your feet are in contact with the enemy's head, you can press jump, and that as you jump off their head, and that resets the amount of air moves you can do. It's a very handy skill to have against big enemies like bosses. But hey, it's these things again. And remember how Nero saw them and was instantly like, ugh, demons. But no, Dante's a bit more cool with this. He's a little more willing to play along.
Baby, yeah. Alright. Nice. Sweet.
See, a lot of fans like to make jokes about Dante being clueless about sex, but then that scene happens and it's like, nah, he knows, he just... Who knows, he probably just doesn't care enough to participate. Anyways. This is actually technically a different enemy than the one we fought as Nero. Because remember, we killed that one. This is one of his many brothers. So this is Dagon, and the one we fought before was Baal, I believe. Alright, so this fight goes absolutely horribly. At first this doesn't start too bad, because I'm actually like staying on top of him. Then I accidentally thought that was the cue for him losing his ice, but it wasn't. I was still a couple hits off. Which means we get to go into this phase. Fun fact, in my practice run of this mission, I never went into this phase. The fight was over in like a minute. So the problem with this phase is that, unlike Nero, Dante really doesn't have a good way to just end the phase. Because Nero can stun them and then buster him, Dante can't do that. All he can do is kind of just deal damage and wait for Dagon to finally feel like fighting. Also, yeah, be careful. When they're on the ground looking prone, that is a trap. But if they ever freeze you, just pop Devil Trigger, you'll be fine. There I got controller time and accidentally switched back to Trickster when I wanted to keep doing Sword Master. I don't know why. You'd think that would be an easy thing to avoid, but it's not. Anyways, remember, they're on the ground, that means it's a trap. Past me did not remember that for a split second there. You can get his ice mostly down pretty quickly when he decides to pop out during that phase, but... Oh, yep, got controller tight again there. He's been very evasive right now. But yeah, I just keep using Skystar and Air Step to try and stay on top of him. Okay, here we go. Now he's finally stunned, and I decided to go for a real impact. Problem was I wasn't in a great spot, so I hit his leg, but that was it. It was just that one hit, which it's not the point of real impact. The idea with real impact is that you hit it once on the initial uppercut, and then you hit it 2 more times as you continue to uppercut. But yeah, his foot didn't go up with me when I uppercutted. And here I was just like, alright, fuck you, I'm just gonna Devil Trigger Stinger you and hope for the best. Hope that ends the phase quicker, but no, it didn't. And yep, got frozen here. Fortunately, if you get frozen with without Devil Trigger, there's not too much you can do to escape in time before he bites you. I mean, I'm sure you can, I just can't. Because it's hard. And again, she's on the ground, that means it's a trap, so just hit her and move on. And I might be crazy, but they feel way more aggressive as Dante than when you're playing as Nero. Again, lying down on the ground, it's a trap. At the very least, they drop some red orbs, so that's nice of them. Okay, there we go. He's finally decided to come out and play. There we go. He's getting angry, but it's... At this point, it's too little too late. I've already got most of his ice off. And this time, I knew to position myself better for real impact. There we go. That's Dagon. It's not much harder than Nero. But this was just a bad showing. Again, in my practice run, he never went into the ice phase because I just finished him that fast. And the trick to that was something called a distorted real impact. It's kind of a glitch, where if you do a real impact, every time it connects, if you switch between Devil Trigger and normal form, that hit will register again. So you essentially do double damage, and it already does a hell of a lot of damage. So it's kind of unfair.
He wasn't kidding.
But now we get one of the more interesting weapons in this game. That is the Pandora. And I want to emphasize before this cutscene really gets going. By the way, here's all their brothers, and they're just going to kind of hop around in the courtyard until Dante kills them. But I want to emphasize, everything you see Dante do in this cutscene, you can do. Pandora is probably one of the cooler weapons in this game. Or like in the series, really. Again, I want to emphasize again, you can do all of this. Yes, you can do all of that. But yeah, whoops. Hole in the ice opens, Dante falls. But yeah, Pandora. Capable of assuming 666 different forms, and it is a gun. Although calling it a gun is a little underselling it, really. Alright, anyways, nothing else to do here, so just drop down. And that's the end of the mission. But yeah, that was mission 15. Not a fan of it. Alright, now mission 16, Inferno. Return the Conqueror of the Fire Hell back to his domain. There's a little bit of a cut there because I had to walk away from recording for a minute. So, rather than sit on the title screen for like a minute, we skipped ahead. Anyways, the only thing you can unlock with Pandora is these two extra forms. So, its normal form is a short-range grenade launcher. Hatred is a slightly longer-range rocket launcher. And then you can further transform it from Hatred into Revenge, which is an extremely long-range laser. And the way you transform is while the Pandora's aiming, you press one direction on the left stick 3 times to turn it into Hatred, and then while it's in Hatred, you rotate the analog stick, I think it is another 3 times, to turn it into Revenge. It sounds more complicated than it is. Alright, but anyways, mission 16, I'm not a huge fan of this mission either, but it's better than mission 15. Here I'm debating, well, what do I really want to get? Like, do I want to get rid of anything? I think about it for a long time, because I'm an indecisive son of a bitch. Anyways, yeah, I don't really need Trigger Hard, so I get Gunslinger back. Alright. So, here's the gimmick for this mission. You're back down in Agnes's lab below the castle. We're sealed in, and the fan stops spinning, which I guess was ventilating the whole facility because now there's poison gas. So the gimmick for this stage is that your health is constantly draining. Do you remember back in DMC 1 there was that one mission that had the key that was draining your vitality? Same idea. As long as we're in this poison gas, you'll see in the upper left our health is constantly ticking down. Anyways, right off the bat there's a combat adjudicator here. It's just an S rank, it's nothing too bad. And you might notice a new little gauge in between our health bars there. That's the disaster gauge. That's something exclusive to the Pandora, and anytime we land an attack with the Pandora, that will fill up. And the idea is that you use the disaster gauge for Pandora's various gunslinger moves, which we really won't see that much of in this mission. I just want to make sure I build up a little bit of it throughout the mission for me to use later, but it's nothing that bad. But it's yet another little mechanic to drop onto Dante. Anyways, this fight! Fuck this fight! I hate this fight so much. So we have to deal with some cutlasses. Now, as Nero, these guys aren't that bad because you can still use your Devil Bringer to snatch them. Dante doesn't have that, unfortunately. He has to do this the hard way. Really, the only way he has available to him is I pelt them with guns to slow them down, and then I stinger over to them while they're stunned. And that gives me enough of an opening to start actually attacking them. The problem is, while you're attacking one, the others are still circling you, and then they'll decide to dash in. But now we're down to just the one, and you'll see another reason this fight really sucks, because this one will not hold still. And I don't mean won't hold still in the fact that it's swimming around. I mean it won't hold still in the fact that it won't stop freaking diving. This was so frustrating to do. Because, to be honest, again, this is stemming back to me not being very good at Dante. I don't know how to deal with these guys as Dante. So you're gonna see me really just very desperately being like, oh come on, how am I supposed to hold still, you son of a bitch? I really did not know what I was supposed to do here. Thankfully, though, this is the only fight in this mission I really do not like. The rest of this mission isn't that bad. You might think this mission sucks because it's got the whole poison gas gimmick, but no, that's honestly not that bad. Once you get past this fight, everything is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Relatively, of course, but yeah. See right there, the instant he stopped diving, he did another dive. It was the most annoying thing, but finally I caught him, and I just would not let him get away again. I don't care if it was worth no style points, I wanted him dead. Alright. So thankfully, that's the worst part of the mission over. The rest of the mission is fine. Again, minus this poison gas constantly taking away our health. I mean, it was still a thing in DMC 1, so I don't have a problem with it. Was it? Wait, was it a still thing in DMC 3? Weird. I can't remember a part that had that there, but anyways, we're back in the board game room as Nero. Except Dante doesn't feel like playing that game. It's a very nice moment here. But anyways, as punishment for not playing the game, we have to deal with all these Gladiuses. Now, just to get this out of the way, you don't have to do this fight. This fight is entirely optional. The door is not locked. You can just leave. But I do this fight because after dealing with the Gladiuses, I felt like I might need some style points and orbs. Plus, all these Gladiuses will drop green orbs. Well, most of them will. I think one or two of them will still drop only red orbs. But anyways, this is another problem of Dante can't pull enemies towards him. Like, you can trickster up to them, but while they're moving around in the air, that's really not as practical as it should be. Nero's just showing off how to transform the Pandora a little bit there. I wasn't actually expecting to hit anything with it, I just kind of did it for the sake of doing it. Alright, but yeah, that fight you didn't have to do. This fight you do. This is a fight against more Gladiuses, and a couple Angelos as well. I believe it's just two Bianco Angelos. I don't think there's an Alto in here anywhere, but still. And wow, that guy hit me. That guy must have charged from like all the way across the room to hit me there. That's actually kind of impressive. But yeah, my general game plan for this was to get the Gladiuses out of the way, because once they're gone, dealing with the Angelos is pretty simple, but they were not making this easy. Anyways, here's an example of using the Royal Guard to deal with their shields. And wrecked. I hope you enjoyed that Royal release. That's probably the only one you're ever going to see from me. And that's only because the timing is really easy to get on those shields. Anyways, don't forget to grab the orbs here and from the chairs in the room. It's a surprisingly decent amount for just two small things. Anyways, if you head out here, the poison gas actually isn't here, so you get a small break from it. It's a very small break, though. Don't get used to it. Anyways, I find it amusing if you shoot those barrels, they have a little small explosion effect. The explosion can't actually hurt you. I just thought it was kind of a neat little detail that they didn't have to add, but they did. Alright, so back into the door, we go into Angel Creation and we're back into the Poison Fog. Oh boy. And what else are we going to fight in Angel Creation but more Angelos? I'm so excited. No, but to be fair, I do actually enjoy fighting Bianco Angelos at least. As long as there's not an Alto in the room, I'm fine with them. Yeah, this fight's just a couple of Biancos, nothing bad. There's not an Alto in sight, thank God. Nope. Okay, that time I accidentally mistimed the shield. So the way the shield block works is, to get the perfect timing, right after they deflect your attack with their shield, just do a very small jump in Royal Guard. That's it. That's all you have to do, and that's usually the perfect timing for the Royal block on their shield bash. Anyways, for some reason, I accidentally passed by the exit there. I don't know why. I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to explain something, I'm sure, but fuck if I know what it was. Alright, time for another fight. Because, you know, it's been a whole 5 seconds since we fought something. Okay, unfortunately, this fight does have some altos in it. So once I realized an alto is in the room, I decided to just play keep away. And we're just going to stall and wait for them to see if they do the big ball of energy. Which I believe they do, but I still somehow mess it up. Yeah, also I'm just trying to build a little bit of disaster gauge. I don't need very much for the thing I want to do. Here I'm not sure if just my timing was slightly too early or if I was facing the wrong way. I think I was just facing the wrong way there. But, yeah, that was my fault. Alright, there. Took care of one Angelo. Sadly, it was not the alto. That would have been nice. And, yep, look out, they're charging. Good job, Dante. Taunt and then get your face slashed. Typical. Alright, now it's just the alto left. Oh, wait, nope. There's never just one alto. That'd be silly. Of course there's gotta be a fucking second one. Yeah, nothing particularly interesting with this fight. It's just me dodging all their attacks and then stingering them whenever I have an opening, more or less. Also, that one's shield broke, so that means free real impact. Royal impact, yeah, no, that's not a thing. You know, he's just a quick check to make sure I got everything here. And I even somehow got the red orbs on this platform. Not sure when I did that in the middle of the fight, but apparently I did. Alright, so good news. We're out of the gas. So now we can jump up these and then break a couple barrels for more red orbs. Which is a surprising pain in the ass to do because you don't have much aerial control in this game. Like, with the exception of when you're going up on these things, once your jump arc is going, it's going. You really can't influence it in any way. So that's why you'll see me miss this jump here, I believe. Try to correct myself and nope, too late. Alright, well, might as well fall. But anyways, us being out of the gas was good news one of this mission. Good news two is that we're actually done with the castle. Because remember, we killed Dagon, and that actually got rid of all the ice in the castle, so now our way out is clear to us. Thank God. Oh, but you know what all the ice being gone means? We get to break all those chairs again for red orbs. Goody. Can't wait. Anyways, I can't get up there right now. I think if you use a weapon we'll get at the end of this mission, you might be able to get up there, but I'm not 100% on that. But I was just demonstrating, yeah, none of my tools will actually get me up there right now, I don't believe, so fuck it. Now comes everyone's favorite part of this room, breaking chairs. Because again, we want those orbs for that rank. Ugh. And then sadly we'll say goodbye to Fortuna Castle, which again is my favorite location in this game. I just kind of really like the overall look and feel of it. It just reminds me so much of playing Devil May Cry 1. And we're saying goodbye. Okay, there I was debating for a second if I wanted to exchange any abilities, but now we're good. Alright, get one last good look here. Goodbye, best location in the game. Goodbye. Alright, anyways, let's meet a new enemy type, shall we? These guys are... I don't remember. I want to say they're just called, like, Hellhound or something generic like that. Like, they're not very memorable enemies. But the idea is they can shoot fireballs from their face, more or less. And they are super annoying to deal with. This fight doesn't go too bad, but I've had fights against them where just I could not catch them because they constantly move around. And yes, I know, that's the point of tricksters, to get up next to them, but it always feels like the second I trickster up to them, they've already moved on somewhere else, and it's very annoying. But thankfully I got a good streak of luck here, because I got to trap them all in this corner. But yeah, they're nothing too bad. Also, if you play as Nero when you fight these guys, he can actually buster them, and his buster animation is to shoot their projectile at another enemy before he slams them down. It's awesome. Alright, anyways, now we're free to leave the castle again. Don't forget to jump up on top of these pillars for some red orbs. Now remember, Nero fell down when the bridge collapsed, so we actually have to climb these cliffs all the way back up. You can technically do this as Nero when you're here in Mission 3, but there's not a point to doing it. Also, there's a little trick here. So, there's some red orbs there to clue you in, but there is a secret mission on top of these cliffs. This is an interesting one. Point of impact. Use Pandora to destroy distant objects. So the point of this secret mission is to teach you that Pandora's transformations do have super long range. Specifically the laser. Here's the idea. You have that object there, then you have that object on the other side of the arena. You also only have like 20 seconds, I believe? 30, okay. So you literally do not have time to cross the entire arena. So you have to go over there and use Pandora's laser, then quickly switch sides over to there, and then use the laser again. Now, it is possible to accidentally be facing the wrong way and miss. Trust me, I've done that quite a few times. The time limit is strict enough that you can miss once. If you miss a second time, you will not have enough time to hit both targets. And here in my live commentary, I was taking a second to explain how you do the transformations. Like, tap the directional input 3 times, then turn the left analog stick 3 times. It's a very interesting mechanic. Like I said, Pandora is one of the more interesting weapons in this game. But anyways, you have those 3 forms, and then you have the machine gun if you use Pandora in the air, then all its other forms are gunslinger abilities. Anyways, you don't have to fight those hellhounds, so I don't. Can I mention for the record that I love Dante's battle music, because it's kind of like a remix mesh between Devil May Cry 1 and 3, and it's kind of cool, it feels like. Also, I failed getting up this cliff. And I actually took so long that the Hellhounds actually caught back up to me. Which is impressive that they're still trying after so long. And here we are back in the mines. Alright. So I was building up Pandora's disaster gauge for a reason. Because at this cliff, you want to go into Gunslinger, and then in the air, if you use the style button with Pandora, you'll turn into the gunship that slowly drains the disaster gauge. We don't need much of it to get across this gap, because on the other side is a blue orb. Now, that blue orb does exist while you're here as Nero during Mission 3, but we did not have enough tools to get across at the time, so I just ignored it and didn't even mention it. But yeah, it's there. Always be sure to break this red orb fountain. Get a couple thousand extra orbs. And now it's going to be time for another boss fight. Against the Lord of the Inferno. And he's a big old boy, so we're going to want to make sure that we have enemy step again. And here I'm kind of debating like which abilities do I want to get rid of in order to get that. So I was like, do I want to get rid of level 2 Gunslinger? Yeah. Maybe I can get rid of Royal Guard. Yeah, I could get rid of a Royal Guard, but it wouldn't be enough, I don't think. So as you can see, I'm agonizing over this decision for some reason. Come on, just... No, don't get rid of that. Come on. Come on, use your brain. That's not enough. No. There we go, that's enough. Math is hard, okay? Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're all set to go fight Burial again. Making very important weapon decisions before I go in.
You don't say.
He literally didn't notice Dante sitting there until he said something. I love it.
Wish you would have noticed me earlier. Now my coat's all charred.
But yep, that's it. That's the intro. Now we're fighting. Anyways, Burial's still really easy for a boss. He's going to spend most of his time just kind of wandering around, not really attacking us. Just make sure to not get smacked by his big old sword if you can. Alright, so he's stunned, so I'm going to go for a real impact, but I'm not in a good spot. So I hit his elbow. Oh, no way, actually, no, that was a good one. Never mind. I'm remembering wrong. That was actually a pretty good impact. Always be careful of his explosion. Make sure you're about that far away. But yeah, the idea is I'm constantly enemy stepping him, so that resets my ability to do more sword slashes and teleports. So that helps me to keep right up in his face. Because normally you can only do the mid-air teleport once, but when you enemy step, you get that one mid-air teleport again. That's how I'm able to stay on him so hard. And he's dead. Not the greatest showing, but it's not bad.
You can stay and die, or you can walk your ugly ass back through that gate. It's your call, pal.
I've retreated once and will not do so again.
And Dante not very impressed by his ultimate finisher there.
I was hoping for a bit more than just a few sparks.
It's time to get a new weapon in a slightly different shout-out to Shimamura. At this point, you can tell they were having a lot of fun thinking of ideas for what to do for some of these scenes.
Satisfied. You are set free.
Bravo. Bravo.
It don't look so big from where I'm standing.
Alright.
Now it's just you and me, Mr. Savior.
Well, it would be you and me, but I still have to get the Yamato. Anyways, this is Lucifer. It's one of the weirder weapons in this game. Arguably still really powerful, but not one I'm able to use very well. So the idea is when you attack with it, you leave these swords suspended in the air. And then, you can detonate them by tossing a rose. It's very awkward to use, and I don't really use it that much. Most of the times you see me using Lucifer coming up here is times I accidentally switch to it because I forget it's there. But anyways, that's mission 16. I like that mission. Minus the beginning with the cutlasses, that mission's not too bad. But these Dante missions feel like they go very fast because they need you to get from all the way to the Order headquarters back to here. Anyways, mission 17, Adagio for Strings. Regain possession of Yamato. This is probably my favorite of the Dante missions. Anyways, with swords, for Lucifer, all you can do is pin up. It uses the Stinger input, and he just shoves a bunch of swords directly in front of him. Now, that move can be ridiculously powerful if you continuously spam it, because once a certain number of swords have spawned into the area, spawning more will cause old swords to explode. So if you keep doing pin up over and over and over and over and over again, they will just constantly be exploding more or less, and you can shove a lot of damage into a boss's face very fast. Especially if you're Devil Trigger, because then pinup will actually fire twice for each input. It's kind of neat. Anyways, Combat Adjudicator there, that's for Nero, we can't do it. So with this first fight coming up here, I decided to try and start it with the Lucifer, just so I could kind of show off what it does. Lucifer is very much a weapon you have to sort of use to set up traps, more or less, if that makes sense, because a lot of its Swordmaster moves involve taking the swords that are already spawned and like that. That's one of the Swordmaster moves where he takes a bunch of swords that are already spawned and just shove it and target them into an enemy directly in front of him. And another one of his Swordmaster moves has him take a bunch of swords that are already summoned and just surround his body with them before they explode, sort of like as a shield. So there are a lot of things you can do with Lucifer, it's just, you know, I'm me and I suck. Alright, anyways, after you kill a couple Scarecrows, 2 Biancos and an Alto show up. Oh boy. Anyways, at first I thought I was gonna try and use Lucifer a little bit there, but then it's like, eh. Anyways, that's the surround Dante as a shield move. But I didn't have very many swords out, so it didn't look all that impressive. You know, I was just kind of trying to focus down this Alto because I did not want to deal with him anymore. And now it's just me and the Biancos, which is how I want it. But yeah, that fight's not too bad. Oh shit, god damn it, I knew there was a pause in here somewhere. I was skimming through it, I couldn't find it. I just stepped away for a second to like deal with my cat. It shouldn't be too long of a pause, I don't think. Yeah, no, there it is. I knew it was somewhere, god damn it. Sorry. Very professional of me, I know. Anyways. There's no grip grip, so you can't go over to that area. You wouldn't want to go over there anyways. If you go over there in the special edition, because playing as Virgil lets you do that during this mission, all that's there is like 2 or 3 scarecrows. There's no reason to go over there. Which is disappointing, because, you know, that's something for years. It's like, oh man, I wish you could do this. And I thought maybe they'd actually, like, hide something interesting there, like an interesting fight or something like that, but no, it's just a couple scarecrows. Anyways, here's some orbs we couldn't get as Nero back in Mission 2 because we didn't have air hike yet. Now it's going to be time for another fight. This one's against a bunch of blades and, I believe 2 Mephistos? 1 or 2. So I decided to open this fight with a Pandora laser. Because it's satisfying as all hell to do. There's an example of me using Lucifer because I accidentally forget that I have Lucifer. Anyways, throughout this and the next fight, you're going to see me prioritizing using Pandora a little bit. Because I want to build this Astrogage up a little bit for a secret mission later. Again, you don't need a hell of a lot, but I like to play it safe and just build as much as I can. Anyways, we've got 1 Mephisto down, so there's just 1 more and then a couple more blades. A little more of the, a little more impractical uses for the Lucifer there. And hey, double S rank, not bad. Anyways, I use a Trickster Dash to cancel out of the Dance Macabre there because it's like, no, I'm not going to sit through that whole animation. Also, this Mephisto decided to fuck off into the wall. And there's not much I can really do to coax him out of it, so I kind of just have to wait on him. There we go. Oh yeah. Good real impact, Dante. Anyways, as you might have noticed and heard right there, after a couple seconds of being out, Lucifer swords will automatically explode even without you having to toss the rose. So, as Nero, we drop down from above, right here, right up there. But we can't get up there, Dante, so we actually get to go through this way, which leads to that street that was overrun with scarecrows back in Mission 2. And this is probably one of my favorite fights as Dante. So we get this big wide open street to play with, and there's a lot of enemies. Yeah, remember, I believe back during Mission 2 I explained that the PC version had a difficulty mode called Legendary Dark Knight, which took the amount of enemies on screen and just multiplied it by like 5 or 6 or something ridiculous like that. Yeah, this fight in that mode is ridiculous. The entire street is like crowded with scarecrows, and it's awesome. Anyways. Again, I had an isolated enemy, no other enemies on screen, so I felt safe doing a dance macabre. But yeah, this fight's just scarecrows and then a couple mega scarecrows. It's nothing too bad. Very enjoyable. Accidentally mistimed that drive, and then here I'm like, wait, isn't there a quick drive? And so I tried to do that real quick. There it is. Quick drive is when you press melee and style at the exact same time. It's a very weird ability. Anyways, a couple hellhounds just spawned in. They are there to kill your combo and ruin your fun. So try not to let them if you can. Here's another S-rank taunt. Gotta get used to them because you're not gonna see them very often with me. Yep, there we go. Got hit by a hellhound. There goes my rank. By S-rank. Feels nice knowing you. Hey, look, for me, any S-rank as Dante is impressive, alright? There we go. Alright. So now that fight's finished off, we're gonna go grab a blue orb real quick. And this takes advantage of a small little feature of Lucifer. And that if we wall jump, we don't have quite enough height to get up here, but if we air attack with Lucifer, now we do. Because when you do the air attack with Lucifer, you actually gain a tiny bit of height. It's not a heck of a lot, but it's enough to get you up that wall. And that's why with the Lucifer's air attack, I think you might be able to grab those red orbs back in the previous... Was it the previous? Yeah, the previous mission when you're leaving Castle Fortuna. You might be able to do it. I don't remember if you can. It's been a while since I've really played this game and attempted that. And really, whenever I boot up this game, most of the time I just want to play as Nero. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Dante's really cool in this game. Like, the amount of freedom they give you to do whatever you want with him at this game is awesome. No, you can't go that way. Gotta go the other way. There you go. But I really enjoy Nero just because he's the easiest to kind of just pick up and play, if that makes sense. Anyways, we're almost done, but break that trash can for a well-hidden secret mission. Steeplechase. Reach the goal without taking damage. Okay, so you remember that part back in Mission 10, I believe it was, with these lasers where you had to stop time? Well, what if you couldn't stop time and they were moving faster? So there's a couple ways to get through this. This is the easiest way. Just use Pandora's gunship to float across the lasers. Is it slightly unfair? Yes. But I don't particularly care. Other ways you could do that involve trickster dashes, which are they're very tricky to time. You can also royal guard, because if you Royal Guard or laser, you have very brief invincibility that you can move through some more lasers before you have to Royal Guard again. Or, with level 4 Royal Guard, you have access to a form that you will not see me do in this LP, where you spend your Royal Gauge to transform into... I honestly don't remember the name of it. But it's a huge armored demon that takes no damage from anything. And you can just use that to go through the lasers. It's awesome. Anyways. So this fight's going to start off against a couple Mephistos. And then some Angelos show up. Playing defense for the Mephistos, really. It's kind of interesting. Although my lock-on was fighting me there. It really wanted me to attack the Altos, but I just want the Mephisto done and over with. Alright. Now it's just me and the Altos, which... You know, classic Altos, they don't fucking hold still. So I tried a couple Devil Trigger Stingers to try and whittle them down. And I actually got rid of the shield on that one. But he decided to not be stunned and actually fight back, which is kind of impressive. Again, more Lucifer accidental use. Again, you can do crazy things with Lucifer. I'm not dissing Lucifer in any way or saying it's a bad weapon. It's just not one I have any friggin' idea what I'm doing with. Anyways, this guy should almost be dead. And yeah, you might see an extra enemy there. A Faust has shown up now. Thankfully, it's just the one Faust. Nothing too bad. Here, stick a couple of those in them and detonate it for a little bit of damage, not much. And now it doesn't look like it, but he is in a wall, so I can't do much to hurt him. I just gotta wait for him to get out. There we go. A little annoying, but nothing too bad. Alright, so now we're approaching another boss fight. And this boss fight, the cutscene beforehand might be the most unusual shout out to Shimamura ever, but also the greatest. Anyway, some more debating about what styles to get rid of so I can get enemy step again. I don't believe I had enough orbs for anything. Nah, need 50,000. Okay. Please, enjoy this scene, if you will.
It was my assumption that those demons would prove far inferior in the face of your tactics.
You summon and kill. Summon and kill. I fail to see the logic here. Said it. The price to pay for power?
Humans. They are but stubborn and foolish. It takes a journey to hell for them to accept and praise their god. A fact that tickles Irony's judgment.
And your judgments interest me not. rightfully mine.
That is what you seek. And that is why I wait in your power.
You will fumble the proposition of my quest. Though I encourage for an opportunity to battle a being of such grand delusion as you is a sweet fortune.
Oh, you can tell Shimamura and the whole cutscene team were having a lot of fun with some of these cutscenes. Like, I can only imagine him coming up to Itsuno and being like, okay, look, this fight takes place in like the opera house, right? So what if we did like this big ol' Shakespearean bit beforehand, and Itsuno just being like, yep, sure, go for it. Sounds fun. Alright, anyways, Agnes's fight here is pretty similar to what you dealt with as Nero, except he starts off the fight by summoning these hellhounds. And he is actually a bit more summon happy in general compared to when you were here as Nero. Now, for the most part, the hellhounds are actually going to be pretty docile because they're not on screen very often. Anyways, not a great real impact right there. Alright. So Agnes is going to take a second to recover, so I'll take this time to kill the hellhounds. Alright. I remember that whole bit where I said, don't let him charge up his attack when he goes in the center? Yeah, you still don't want to let him do it. Anyways, unfortunately, I keep accidentally jumping too high in order to hit him. And here's a bit where he summons some hellhounds to just shoot their faces through that portal. And again, this cutlass move. Nothing big. I don't know why I felt like popping Devil Trigger for it, but I did. I found in this game sometimes I'll just pop Devil Trigger for seemingly no reason as Dante. Like, not even to do Devil Trigger Stinger, which is usually my go-to reason. Nope, yep, too close. Got a little confident. And yeah, you don't want to get out of there. So yeah, with the Hellhound Fireballs, he can either do them all at once or one at a time like that. And again, that attack will do a lot of damage if he finishes using it, so don't let him. He also has another attack that he doesn't use here. Still not a great real impact, unfortunately. But he has another attack that he doesn't use in this fight for some reason. Usually he uses it a lot against me, and here's where I'm talking about Pinup doing a lot of damage if you just keep doing it. Okay, there it is. For some reason I thought he didn't do that attack, but he says your strength will be mine, and then he'll try and grab you, and if he does grab you, he'll drain your health to restore his. But he's done.
How can there be such a difference between us?
You surrendered your humanity. It's that simple.
But you are.
And now we go from a theater performance to like a college lecture. They really made the most of their sets here.
Okay, yeah, their bodies lack the physical ability of a demon. But humans possess something that demons don't.
What is it the demons lack? Please, for the sake of my reason.
Would you believe me if I told you this guy has a daughter? Like, this guy has a fucking family somewhere. Can you believe that shit?
You're gonna continue your research in the next world.
But I love this scene. This is a great shot here.
Do your homework first. the rest is silence.
Shout out to Shimamura, by the way. I know I said that before, but it bears repeating. But yeah, that was Agnes, nothing bad. And so there was a secret elevator in this opera house that we go down to complete the mission. So this is where Agnes was at the start of Mission 12, when he opened all the Hell Gates. Well, not all the Hell Gates, but the one really huge, massive one in the middle of town. And there we go. Now we have the Yamato. And yes, we actually have it. We can use it. We can fight with it. It's awesome. But we have to wait for next mission before we can do that. There's slightly more pressing concerns to deal with. But that's mission 17. Probably my favorite of the Dante missions. Because I like the fights in here, and I love that opera cutscene. But unfortunately we have to go from my favorite Dante mission to the Savior. Stay tuned, folks. It's only going to get worse from here.